Hi, everyone. Well, if you are new to Arizona or if you've lived here for a long time, you know how important your air conditioning unit is. And so today I am joined by John with Sunny and Cool Heating and Air. And we're going to jump into understanding what common service calls are, ways to prolong the life of your air conditioning unit to preserve your investment, and lastly, what to do with those hot spaces in the house. So, John, thanks for being here with us.
Of course, thank you.
All right, so let's jump into what you see on an everyday basis. What are your most common service call requests?
Okay, it varies, but for the most part, you have a few different things. It could be a thermostat that doesn't have needs new batteries. It could be most of the time it's the capacitor. That's like a battery to a car. That's how we explain it. It jumps the condenser, the compressor, and the fan motor to come on, and because of the heat, they go out a lot out here. They wear normal wear and tear. And then a lot of times because of humidity and people don't change their filters, is a condensation line. They have something clogged up in there, so it needs to be cleared out.
Okay, so I'm going to hit the thermostat thing
Okay.
because I know that we have some older units out there. The newer units don't have batteries, right? But the older thermostats are the ones with the batteries.
Yes, the older thermostats do have batteries. For the most part, the newer thermostats, smart thermostats that you can see on your phone and everything, they're connected directly to the unit itself. So they're
Okay.
hardwired,
Okay.
no batteries involved.
So when people call you, do they know that their batteries are dead?
Most of the time they don't. Sometimes it starts failing like a remote and it won't work. And it like sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And so they're like, we're turning it off, turning it on, and it's not coming on. So I'm like, does it have batteries? Simple, take it off and check to see if it has batteries or not.
Okay. So that's an easy fix on the part of a homeowner. Good to know. So you said capacitor failing and then the unit just not working properly due to filters not being changed. So it sounds like those are manageable and maybe homeowners could help with the process to preserve the health of their AC unit.
Yes, of course. The main thing is to change the filters. We recommend to change them frequently, at least once a month. Depends how often you use your AC or like the temperature setting. So if you have it at 75 and you have kids and a lot of pets, probably change it once every 3 weeks. But if you have it around 80 degrees and it's just you at the house, you can get away with once a month or a little more than that.
Okay, so why kids and pets? What happens with kids and pets?
The reason with kids and pets is that they play outside in the
Uh-huh.
dirt, and so
Uh-huh.
they bring all that dirt inside.
Okay.
And with a filter, to return, it's like a big vacuum. It sucks up all the dirt and debris inside the house, getting that hot air out. And
Okay.
that's just going to dirty your filter faster.
Okay. So kids and pets make AC filters dirtier faster.
Yes.
Great. So when it comes to maintaining the system, we know the homeowner should change the air filter every 30 to 60 days, depending on their situation.
hmm
What are some other things that homeowners can do to lengthen the life of their AC unit?
Another thing you could do, which I recommend, is to always have a maintenance visit. A professional come out, check everything. If something's slowly wearing down, just like anything, we're always like anything mechanical is slowly going to go away and break down eventually. If you can catch it before and be like, hey, this is slowly going bad, before it prevents other issues, you can change it and fix it. Another thing you could do
How
is
often should a homeowner get their AC unit serviced?
we have a maintenance plan of twice a year, so we do one for the cooling, the AC system part,
Hmm.
when it before the summer, and then one in the fall before the heat.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Right. So now would be too late. It's almost 100 degrees in
It's
Arizona.
never
So
too late. I recommend it's never too late. Okay.
prefer, yeah. So,
But I do say don't check your AC in like December. Yeah.
all right, good. Okay, so we were talking about maintaining the system, so changing the filters, having it serviced on a regular
Yes.
basis. Anything else that a homeowner can do to make sure their
Um,
system
if
lasts?
anything else will be on the condenser outside that unit. You can spray down the coils to make sure there's no weeds or any plants around it, suffocating it. Yesterday, I went to a house and she had a garden, and the condenser, there was plants all around it, and so it's harder for the condenser to breathe. It needs space and air. So make sure there's
Mm.
no weeds around the unit. If you can hose it down and take some of the dirt out of it, and that will extend the life of the unit as well.
Okay, and how can you tell, how could a homeowner tell that their condensation line is clogged?
So main thing is there's two PVC pipes coming out of your home by the unit. There's one in the top and one at the bottom. You always want to see the bottom dripping water.
So it's not a bad thing if the
Not a
bottom
bad.
one is dripping.
Correct.
Okay.
If it's the top one dripping, call a professional as fast as you can.
As fast as you can. You don't want a ceiling leak.
No, no, that can cause a lot of water damage, and
Yes.
you'll need a lot more help than just me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And if you've heard anything about the changes in or the increased cost in homeowner insurance, water damage is a huge part of that. So great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's really helpful to understand what the most common service requests
Yes.
are so that homeowners can gauge what they're getting into. It sounds like all of these are very manageable
Yes.
as long as they act quickly.
Yes. Just as a little things, change your filters, do your regular maintenance tune up, and everything should be fine.
So let's jump into a common question that I get here in Arizona, and that is there's always a space that's hotter than others in the house. So, like a hot bedroom or a garage that someone's maybe wanting to convert and climate control. So, in the case of a house where one room is hotter than the other, what are some things that a homeowner should do?
First thing, I would call a professional to take a look at what's going on. Normally, it's something with the ductwork, and what it means is that there's not enough air getting to that room, cold air getting to that room. The best way to explain it, I should say, is think of a river. And we have a river going, and if you put branches and rocks to stop the flow, it will still go, but it's just not as strong from the beginning of it. And then if you put more, it's going to get less and less. Towards the end, there won't be hardly any water. Same thing, air just flows in one direction. And so when it flows in one direction, you tee it off, you're splitting the air. And if you do too many tees and split the air too much, you hardly get any air. And that's what normally causes that hot room and wherever it may be. Most likely the furthest room away from the unit.
Right. Okay. So, exploring the duct work.
Yeah.
What are some other things that a homeowner could possibly explore? Obviously, having a professional out, but what are
Yes.
some other things that might be causing that hot room?
Other things you can have, like you said, it could be above the garage. So the garage doesn't have any AC in it. It's just hot air. And you can fix that by putting a mini split in the garage.
Okay.
Or you put a mini split in that hot room as well.
Okay. And then I know as a gardener that the direction of the sun can impact how hot a room gets. And there's not much a pro like John can do about the position of the sun, but
No.
there are things that can be explored. For example, more insulation in the walls, potentially in the ceiling and the roof to help that room stay cooler.
As well as the windows.
Windows, getting more energy efficient windows.
Yes.
So I have a lot of people asking me, probably because my husband is an off-roader, a Jeep guy, and they want to create like the man cave in the garage or a she shed in the backyard. So tell us a little bit more about mini splits. What are the best spaces to use mini splits in versus getting a bigger AC unit or piping air out to the garage?
Any space is the best space. Mini split's a lot more efficient, so your electric bill will be lower. They are ductless, so you don't have to worry about cleaning any ducts or anything like that. Any space from a garage, or if you're trying to expand your home outside, as long as it's closed area, I would put a mini split.
Okay. And so when you're figuring like square footage that a mini split could potentially cool, What is that formula?
So it depends the area. So what we say is 400 to 500 square feet. It's about 1 ton. For a mini split, that's 12,000 BTUs. And so they go up to 36,000 BTUs, which is 3 tons. That can cool down about 1,200 to 1,500 square feet.
Okay.
They also have zones, like different heads.
Okay.
So you can put one condenser outside, and if you have 3 different rooms, you can put 3 different heads, all synced up to one unit. It's just each individual room has its own thermostat, own head, own setting.
Wow, so there are some options when it comes to mini splits. It sounds like you need a pro to maybe give you some guidance on installing one of those or at least buying the right size. So this is great. This, feels good as an Arizonan to know that I don't have to hang out in my hot room. There are some options as far as cleaning up the ductwork, making it more efficient, or potentially installing another unit. Thank you, John. This has been very beneficial. I love that we were able to touch base on the common service calls, ways that homeowners can maintain and extend the life of their air conditioning units, and also what to do about the hot spaces in a home. If you have any questions for John, please put them down in the comments section. And as always, if you like this content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.